Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy take flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. And thank you for joining us once again. We have a lot to talk about. Tom has a lot to talk about.
I got a
we
lot
have a
to say
special
tonight.
guest, Kobe Connolly, an Irishman. It's okay. The only reason we took him because his cousin's mother's brother was a football.
A New York football giant.
Not a quarterback.
Quarterback for the New York
Well,
football
42.
Giants.
Phil Sims.
Well, that was
that-
before Phil Sims.
So then he wasn't that good.
No, the Giants had some success. With
Yeah, but under Phil Sims, we were great.
2 Super Bowls.
4-17.
Yep.
You ever remember that? 4-17. And he got that.
I
touchdown
mean,
in 1986.
he did have some.
I can't ever
I
forget
actually
that.
have a Joe Morris autographed football years ago
wow.
when my dad was alive.
Okay, we
got
accept
that,
you,
yeah.
Kobe. Kobe is also on the committee for the executive committee
In the Brooklyn GOP.
In the Brooklyn GOP with me. We were arguing that he's going to go against me with Wilson Pakula. Is that right, Kobe?
I wouldn't quite say that.
I want
think
you
he
to
was-
make sure Kobe's on the
I think he was on
camera.
our wavelength, actually.
I know he was. I was just making fun of him. I will make sure we get Kobe's face in the camera tight that, that I embarrassed him, okay? This way he can't vote against me. When he does, we're going after him. We're going to talk about a few things.
A lot to talk about tonight.
I mean,
Some
Tom
very
is
sad news out there, by the way, today.
sad.
National Guardsmen getting killed.
Right, and we're also about, they attacked a couple out there.
Yes.
And they burnt their car.
I heard about that.
I mean, New York City is under attack. New York City's fire. And you know what?
Escape from
Poor
New York
Kobe
almost.
the Irishman is from Washington, D.C. So I thought he didn't
Washington
know, but
State, but close enough.
Washington State. Oh, that's the one with the Seattle?
Yes.
Oh, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I thought for a moment that he's one of the better ones, but he knows what it is to people sleeping on the street.
And they just
defecating.
elected a very left mayor to over there, almost a Mandani clone in
Not
Seattle.
and communists are being elected as well.
We're gonna talk
Kobe,
about
I
it.
don't understand. You're just allowing Irish does not have communism. Kobe's shaking his head. That's not good enough. On the radio, you have to talk, Kobe.
Yes.
You know that Seattle mayor? She's from New York State. She's from upstate. Yeah.
Yeah, in one of the counties.
Upstate doesn't count.
Wow.
New York City is what counts. But I just want you. By the way, I'm going to tell everybody about my DMV. Everybody, I
Yes.
want you to know I have somebody that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm planning.
You're planning?
The next couple of weeks, we're going to have a nice show next week.
Yes.
And you're always invited here, Kobe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I'm going on a 2-week vacation with
Okay.
Linda. I'm
Okay.
taking her away. We're going to sit in the beach. Linda said she's taking me away, but I'm paying for everything. I just want you to know, I don't know if you guys have, we're not like you people Thanksgiving dinner. We have our Thanksgiving dinner with a turkey, but we also have sushi.
Okay, well, you know
like
what?
that.
We have
I like
chicken.
that.
We have chicken. I know you'll eat that, but that's
Yeah.
not the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
trust
And
me.
I'm paying for everything. And even though I'm a guest invited, I'm paying.
Well, you know what? That's kind of like the Al Bundy thing almost.
I know. 50 people at this crazy party. Thank God it's not my house. I have to clean up this time. But it's going to be nice. I love Thanksgiving. They say the Jews don't celebrate it. My mother and father, Holocaust survivors, loved Thanksgiving. They believed in the freedom of this great country. And I love Thanksgiving. I'm gonna. Linda likes to watch the parade on TV. She always wants me to. Take
I was
her.
right by there yesterday, but the weather's been horrible these last few days. I was literally right
It's not cold,
there.
but tomorrow here it's gonna be bitter cold.
Well, like average for this time of year.
I always wanted to. After I saw the Seinfeld episode, I wanted to hold the Woody Woodpecker sign.
You know what? That was a cartoon that was on Once Upon a Time. But I do want to introduce our listeners out there who are about to join us here. First of all, want to say hello.
Is it not too early?
No, we're behind in the time because of the clock schedule.
You
but
know everything. Tom is very smart.
But I do want to say hello, first of all, to where Heshy's going, WJPR 1640 AM in beautiful Miami, Florida, where eventually Cuomo will join Heshy. I want to say hello to the legendary rock and roll radio station Once Upon a Time 1027 WNEW, and also our flagship WSNR 620 AM, and also the Talkline Radio Network on this week's episode of the Just Enough Heshy Show with yours truly, Tom, Heshy, and Colby. So thank you everybody for joining in. And if you want to give us a
Colby
call.
Connery, just for your radio listeners, Irishman. But we take it. Tom, what are you, Italian?
I'm actually Irish.
Irish. Oh, wow.
People always get confused with that.
I happen
That
to like
actually
the Irish. I
surprised
think
me.
Italian. I wanted like a multiracial.
you know
Because
what?
I was going to
Never.
tell you I was a little Latin.
No.
Between Latin and Irish and Italian. I might even win an election one time.
Now, you know what? That would might be the next issue you're going to.
Tom Bryce. Oh, Bryce.
Bryce
Yes.
Bjork.
Irish,
Heshy,
yeah.
I have something to admit. My brother did a DNA test. I'm only 5% Irish. My last name is
You cheater.
yeah.
But you have the red hair, so you did steal something from them.
Yeah.
What are you the rest?
I love potatoes too.
I know. You know what? When the Jews were in the Holocaust in the concentration camps, potatoes are what they were able to save or eat or even hide. Even if it got spoiled, it lasted longer. So when they came out, they created this cholent food. It's been around a long time. Beans, poor man's food. Beans, potatoes, a little leftover meat, and some bones. Now it's a very expensive delicacy. Depends on how you make it with the sauces. The Russians make it one way. The Jewish Russians make it one way. The Jewish Carpathians make it another way. The Hungarians, everybody has their way of making it. The Israelis make it their way, and it's really a big. Even the bones they used to give away for free cost money. Today a cholent is very expensive, and you have to do it right. So yes, potatoes. Don't tell me about potatoes. We grew up with potatoes. We have potatoes in our soup, potatoes in our cholent, potatoes with our chicken. I have potatoes.
Knishes, hello.
We have potato knishes. I mean, come on. There's no way.
I always grew up on it. And I always tell the story. Listen, my uncle for years worked in the Mill Basin Deli, so I had knishes. We would get them I looked forward to every New Year's Eve.
When I was a kid, a 10-cent knish. Wow. I mean, it was a lot of
That
money.
was the food I used to remember
Right.
as a kid, going to the Mill
I was
Basin
able to
Deli.
get a 10-cent knish, put mustard in, and it was like home meal because we know
My
when you're
dad
broke,
used to
you
do
take
that,
whatever
but
you got.
I like it
Kobe
plenty.
doesn't know he's rich. He lived in the better part of Washington.
No, I
But
was.
if you
I
want
was-
to give us a call here tonight, by the way, and talk about some of the other topics we have tonight, 646-974-1580.
Before we start the show, I want to give a couple of shout outs to
Yes.
my granddaughter, Mira Nava.
Favorite part of the show.
She's great. And she was singing. She's like my oldest grand. She says to me this week, she says, I'm your oldest Tishla grandchild. I get everything. I said, yes.
Absolutely.
Leila Tamar, Binyamin Hillel, my other grandson Yeshua, and Ahuva. She's talking now already.
Good.
And of course, my baby Yael, Yael Miriam. Mm-hmm. By the way, we have to give a shout out to Nicole.
Nicole
Our old
just had
co-host.
baby.
You don't know Nicole. She used to be a co-host here,
was a couple
and she
years
got
ago.
married, and she just had a baby boy, and she's gonna have the bris next week, and I'm gonna go out to Pennsylvania, and we're gonna have a bris together. So Nicole, if you're listening, Mazel Tov, or
I
congratulations.
just wished her happy congratulations.
Not
on
from me, only from you. You didn't put my name in.
I could do
That's
that right
great.
now.
You better do that
I will
now after the
I'm
show.
on.
By the way, I want to tell you guys before we start the show. My
Okay.
joke and quote. I want to tell you. You know, everybody bitches about the DMV. The
Oh, my
DMV
God.
is the most horrible.
My dad was a driving instructor. Oh, I used to see the horror stories about that
The
firsthand.
the worst agency in the United States in every state.
Pretty much.
So I prepackaged my I'm going for a real ID license today. You can't get on the plane without a passport or with a real ID. So I went online and I had to upload my taxes, upload my social security card, ordered a new one because the other one was damaged. I'm talking, it took me an hour. Then I had to print the form, sign it, upload the form, and bring the original. I'm ready. Got an appointment date for today at 9:15.
Okay.
Finally, I said, if I'm going, I want to take Linda with you. I figured if I go to the window, they'll take both of us. When I get to the DMV, we got there. Me and Linda got there a little early. We parked the car in the back. They cheated us for the parking, by the way. They say $15 and ended up $25 only cash. So we get in there. I get to the window, and this nice guy, Derek, can't be too bright because I get you. I said, Linda's here. I want to get him. He says, no, one ticket per person. I said, come on, I brought Linda. So he's such a nice man. He can't be a DMV guy because he's actually a nice guy. There's something wrong. Usually the DMV people are nasty and vicious and mean. This guy, Derek, was good. I even told him I'm making fun of him. Derek, I'm making fun of you. So Derek says, go on the app now and make an appointment. I said, there's no way. There's no room left. He says, people cancel. And he shows me how to get on the app right by the window. I get on the app and I see a time at 1 o'clock available. Last spot, somebody canceled. So quickly I typed it in. I go back to him. And he gives me a ticket. He says, go. He says, doesn't make a difference that it's 1 o'clock. You go now. They'll call your number. This guy, and we thanked him afterwards. I can't believe it. So really, I can bitch and holler about DMV, but today we got our numbers. We took our pictures. 1 hour, we were out of there with our DMV. I mean, they didn't give it to us. They're mailing it.
Okay.
So 1 hour, we got our real. Then I find out after I leave, I didn't have to pay $12. First of all, it's $12.
Yep.
Everybody has to pay. It's a new way of making money. I could have got an enhanced ID. What the hell is enhanced ID? What's the difference between real and enhanced?
I've said this before on the show, but people in the chat really want you to get the show going.
I'm getting the show going, but I'm bitching right now, okay? Then I got my license.
And
anyway.
also, I want to plug my own show, which I'm on YouTube at Sports by Radio 65.7. I'm actually interviewing, I actually just recorded the interview today, WWE legend Raven. Raven just came on my show.
By the way, Kobe is on the executive committee with me.
Yes.
And I'm hoping he doesn't screw me. I said this earlier, that he doesn't give the Wilson Pacol anybody. So Kobe, you're mine. Kobe, you know what I mean? I know you're 5% Irish, but I know there's a Jew a little bit in you, at least 0.25% over there.
There's been no greater compliment. I got your back.
Because I saw you eating that corned beef sandwich with us. You liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to be a little Jewish. I mean, Tom doesn't like it so much, but he takes it.
Corned beef, I
Like
can't
corned
eat.
beef is Irish. Isn't it corned beef
Yeah,
and
St. Patrick's
cabbage?
Day.
Right,
St. Patrick's
right.
Day, yeah.
Anyways, let's start our show. I want to tell you my quote.
Okay.
Kobe, I did this quote for you. Because Kobe was the campaign manager for George Seventopoulos.
Yes.
You did a wonderful job on the first round. I liked your advertisements, even though you didn't want to give me and help me with that. But you did a great job. You really ran a professional show. You won round one, which was not beat. You beat the chairman. It was an impossible way to win. We were just wagering. We said you had no chance, and you did a great job. You helped raise the money properly. I helped as well. So did Tom.
We appreciate
So we did
that.
a great job. But you actually ran a very professional show. I was in your office. You did a great job from signatures all the way to the end. And too bad George didn't win it because I would have really liked to see him as councilman. He was very nice. I spoke to him today. George Seventopoulos and Kobe Conley. Here's
Probably
the thing.
watching.
The problem is not that people are taxed too little. The problem is that government spends too much. Either you run the day or the day runs you. And Kobe, I saw you. You ran the day. You ran every day. You were consistent. You were on top of your game. You're young. Well, how old are you, may I ask?
26.
Why aren't you married?
You know, I'm always moving around. This is like what the sixth or seventh.
Stop
stage?
it. I mean, I don't know if you want.
I'm here to stay though.
Okay,
though.
but if you want a
Okay.
special other spouse, you can do that too in New York City. You know. Good. We're gonna get you a nice girl.
Yes.
And
yes. I gotta go pray at the Rebbe's grave, right? Upstate.
Wow, you know about the Lubavitch Rabbi, so they go there. You know, and you see, even the non-Jews go there. I'm very proud of you. Very good. He's into the marriage thing. That
You
was
got a
the
lot
whole
of people here in the chat. I like to shout out Boone 408, Josh Bailey's in the house.
thing. Josh.
Heaven 44 has certainly had
Can I
their
give you my
opinions.
joke?
Go for it.
Okay, so here's my joke. I go every year rafting upstate.
Yes.
And we go to a camping site. And we go down the river, we come out of the river, we come set everything up. And as we're coming out of the river, I'm standing over there. Everybody's coming out of the river, and I make everybody set up quickly. And there was a guy next to us in the next section over there, seeing everybody come out, and they're all setting up. And we had the barbecue set up, the table set up, everybody moving real quickly. Within a half hour, I had the fire going. Everybody. The guy comes up to me and says, "How do you have this working so smoothly?" I said, "Nobody's allowed to go to the bathroom till everything is set up." Come on, you gotta laugh at that. Come on, Kirby.
Producer's here. He signaled it. He was there
So
listening.
then I have a backup joke because he's shaking his
Yes.
head.
Yes.
I was in the office
Oh, you are.
and I got a call that my son fell off a ladder.
Okay.
And he was in the hospital. I go running over there. You know, Abraham is crazy. He thinks he's smarter
He's
than
got
me.
the button right
I
now.
ran over
right
there.
now.
I run over to the hospital, and I expected to see, him to be in casts and broken up. I get over there, I see him sitting there smiling with some minor cuts. I said, it's a miracle. He said, no, I just fell off the first rung. That was fun.
Infinite Justice wants to say right now that you need to write a cookbook and do a YouTube cooking channel.
Oh, 100%. I 100% agree.
I happen to do a lot of cooking and a lot of juicing, so I'm very good at that.
And Heaven 44 is saying stop with the food references because they don't want to hear the food anymore. No,
what food? I didn't have any.
You mentioned knishes. You mentioned corned beef.
Yeah, come on, guys. Knishes. The knish is the best thing on the planet.
They want to hear us. We got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
The first thing I want to first wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Be safe out there.
I'm going to be going to my son's house with 50 people where I'll be paying, bringing sushi, eating chicken, and at the leftover, at the end, the last thing they were serving is turkey. But okay, that's America today.
I'm actually going out myself, which wasn't going to, but now I will.
First of all, shout out to my friend Derek at the DMV. I like you very much.
Derek.
But I do want to start with something very serious before we get to your National Guard thing.
Yes.
Our new mayor, who's $8 billion in the hole.
Yep.
Okay, and you got to tell him this. Do you know that Mr. Mayor that's going to raise our taxes, cut our budget, run our city, has no idea. Plus, he's going to add another $1.7 billion for the free buses and the grocery stores. He wants a raise. The city council is raising the public advocate to $215,000. This is a guy who does nothing all day long.
And lives in the Fort Hamilton Army base with security.
And you know what? He was waiting. If the mayor is out of the city for 9 days, the public advocate takes over.
Yep.
Mayor Adams came back on day 9. So this guy who does nothing gets $215,000. Members of the city council are going up to $180,000 plus $30,000 per committee.
Yes, $200,000.
$400,000 that they're going to make if they sit on 7 committees. I don't know, and I wasn't going to take a salary. But
and on top of that, you're missing out one thing. They only meet once a month.
They only meet
once a month.
God,
That's it.
That's a great return on investment.
I didn't even know that because I was going to scream at them every day. And plus, they get $10 million discretionary funds. Plus,
The lowest a council member gets, I believe it was a few years ago before COVID, was like $550,000. So now probably it's like $700,000.
Because it was it was a special election or something.
No, but that's the lowest member. That means that the average member, like you said, is getting $3, $4, $5, $6 million. That's crazy. And on top of that, you're also leaving out the staffers because the staffers will get increases. And we know that there was a few years ago a push to unionize the city council staff.
And it gets better. Well, president goes up to $250,000.
Who has a limo driver, by the way.
Right. Controller gets $250,000. District attorney gets $250,000. And the mayor gets, I don't understand. You want to raise our taxes. There's a problem with housing. You want to give away free food, but you want to raise. You don't need to raise, Mr. Mandani. Go to the free grocery store.
I want to ask him a question because he, little known fact, was a candidate in Washington State. Tell everybody what the pay was and what you do compared to what it is here.
So once upon a time, when I was a little bit younger, I ran for city council in the city of Longview, Washington, a city of 40,000, district-wide seat. And people ask me, so why did you run? Why did you run? It's like, did it even pay good? They said, how much did it pay? I said, well, I think it was $1,000 a month.
Wow.
And they look, the people in New York look at me like, what was the point?
You allowed a real job over there.
Yes.
Okay, over here, city council, it happens to allow you a job, but state senate and assembly doesn't now, right?
They changed the law where they only can earn like 10,000 to 12.
So Simcha Felder came back with it, but I want you to know, guys, I'm happy that, my office has raised its rates. I'm very busy now. My partner's so happy. He started screaming at me today. He says, Heshy, please don't run again. And when he overheard me talking to you that I might run again for the assembly seat,
we're still looking at that.
We promise you that we're looking into those options because we know that Carmen Yeager.
And there's obviously been
when I was on my way to the hospital, I bumped into Eichenstein this week. He says, we all heard you running for assembly. I said, how'd you hear it? I didn't tell anybody. So basically, we have a bunch of listeners from the city council and the assembly. We know Simcha Felder listens to the show. But,
and all of a sudden, have you noticed in the last 2 weeks, Felder pop-up office here, Felder screening for those that need help. All of a sudden, where was this before?
So the other night, now the ticket agents are telling us that they can do whatever they want. They at 1 a.m. they gave 75 tickets on everybody on the block between 13th Avenue and 15th Avenue, 75 parking tickets because there was construction going on the block during the day. We are only allowed to do during the day. So these guys parked at night when there's no construction, and the guys weren't working there for a week, and they parked on the side where there wasn't construction. But since they said no, they gave it. And I asked the lady 1 in the morning, people complained. She says, we can do whatever we want. Just like that, under Mandani, these government, they're giving violence.
It's
I have people
predatory.
standing in line in my office, how the city's shutting their jobs down. They're coming after the Jewish neighborhoods. And, the 5 rabbis, not one Orthodox rabbi is on Mandani's transition.
We were
team.
talking about this, the 3 of us, before we went
Right.
there. The transition
and here's my
team
problem. You have Abby Stein, who was when he was a man, when this thing was a man, he was an incompetent retard who was on ADD medicine. I'm very serious. I knew him
I was
when he
gonna
was a
ask
man.
you about this.
With the curls. I knew him when he was a man. Then he got married, or something like that, wouldn't divorce, whatever. The man is a lowlife.
Yeah.
Now he's a woman. He's not a rabbi. I don't know how he became a rabbi. He must have got a piece of paper from some Irish guy and signed the paper. You're a
Well,
rabbi.
I'm a reverend myself.
Right.
Universal Life Church is probably where he
$99.
went to. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Then you have a gay and lesbian rabbi. I mean, you have no rabbi that is Orthodox. So you don't have, even Adams had 16 rabbis and Orthodox people. This guy Mandani.
Adams even had a few, not that I call them Republicans, but he had a few Republicans in his administration. Adams did. He
but
did.
he's firing 100. Adams did.
Yeah, Adams.
Mandani's firing 179 members. The only thing I like about that is he's firing all the deputy mayors, especially.
Yeah, but then what could be worse?
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds.
Menachem Shapiro cannot be worse. He is a Jew.
Well, we have to see
double-crosser.
who Mamdani's going to put in there. Listen,
So I want to ask about this, like with the rabbis.
And by the way, Mandani has more people spending more money on his transition team when he's supposed to be cutting again. Please, Kobe, explain to me what cutting budget means. Spending more money,
the
right?
city, they don't believe in inflation. they just spend more money.
That was a good one.
Oh, that was
You gotta
good,
think
man.
about
It was
You gotta
good.
think about it. From his lifestyle, he's raised on like a credit card. Like his parents probably gave him a credit card, and that's what he thinks of financial transactions. It just the money is there,
Yeah.
I don't understand. The guy is telling us one story, and even the fireman chief is leaving.
Yes, I saw that.
The only reason he's keeping Tish around, he's only going to keep Tish a few months till he finds somebody competent. He doesn't want.
But if he keeps
he doesn't
Tish-
want mass leaving of the police people. That's why he's keeping Tish. But once he takes power, he's there for a while, and he has the police in their place because police can't just quit or leave like that. They go to jail. It's they can't even strike.
Well, some of them also want to be able to probably cash in to get their pension, too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Mandani's playing the game, and then once he has power and he's there, he's going to.
Now, speaking of playing the game, I have to ask both of you about that meeting that everyone talked about, Trump and Mamdani. What did you both think about that?
I was going to ask you
I
that.
thought it was hilarious.
But now Mandani says that he thinks he could work with Trump.
But then he also said 2 days
That
later,
he's a fascist.
he still thinks that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trump doesn't mind, though.
I know that. I know Trump doesn't mind, because Trump doesn't care. You see, remember, Donald Trump, the president, is a federal employee, not a state. The state and city has its own constitution. Theoretically, he can't mix in. Yes, they have a power above our laws, but still the city and state laws come first. They are superseding any of the federal laws. The federal can supersede us on certain things. For example, the army. There are certain things that we don't have that we can't have anymore. That's why the federal government is there, is to cover us. But really, the federal government is not allowed to even mix in. They're only supposed to help us during times of trouble, war, economic strife, flooding, and so on. But again, I like Trump, and I know he's not going to send his National Guard. And also, I wanted to talk to you about that.
What?
Did you hear what happened today with the National Guard?
Horrible news. We
you
want to give our
terrible.
thoughts and prayers out to
People
those people.
people were saying the National Guard people attacked the White House. It wasn't that.
No.
It was some crazed person shooting our soldiers on the street.
So, and I've seen this. So, Senator Lisa Slotkin, Michigan,
yeah.
goes on ABC 4 days ago, and she's talking about that, pretty soon the National Guard are going to start shooting people on President Trump's orders. And look, today, who's shooting who?
Right.
They're
just crazy. President Trump is the king. They right now, I just want you to know the Gaza-Hamas war is over. It's a fact.
Yeah.
It's not even just Trump said something.
And we got
back all the hostages, almost all of them.
And Ukraine-Russia looks like we're nearing
Ukraine,
the deal
Russia.
there too.
So Trump is coming through. You're right. Hamas doesn't want to give up the weapons, but there's always something at the end. They're blowing up all the things. The Israelis backed off. They're still protesting at the Park East Synagogue in Manhattan.
Yes.
I don't know about what. Palestinians, but why? Why are you doing? And it's like you were threatening them. And what did the police do? Zero. I don't understand. See, you guys think New York is, like I put today in our topic headlines, New York is under attack and is on fire. And by the way, a couple, did I tell you that? Did you see my article? There was a couple in, where was it, in Queens?
Yes, they got burned.
They attacked them, burnt their cars, lit them on fire, almost killed them, brutalized, and it was on video. A gang takeover right in the middle of the street, Kobe. By the way, now you are lucky, Kobe, because you live you live in the city now.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, if you're in my neighborhood, we have our safety patrols that we spend lots of money on. The Shomim and Shmira and Chaverim that we help boost up cars. So our community is pretty safe. We know how to protect ourselves, but the rest of the city has gang members and crime and rape and murder. And if you come to Borough Park, you can see our police officers are just busy giving tickets because they have nothing else to do.
This is one of the first things like I knew about when I came here to work for George, about the woman that was set on fire in Coney Island. At that, and then not only that, in Chicago, there's another woman set on fire. Some woman in her early 30s, barely, life is just starting. She gets set on fire. I'm pretty sure she was killed, and it was by a guy that was arrested, had 70 prior arrests.
Right. And they let him go. I had a protest that I did nothing, and they put me in jail for 2 days.
I ran into somebody on my way here, and I was telling them about that. I said it's just a double standard.
Right.
They
play the
it's
game.
these corrupt judges.
Right.
I was
stupid corrupt judges.
I just got back from a vacation in El Salvador. First country I've ever gone outside the U.S. I'm as homegrown as they come. I finally get to go outside the country, and the difference between New York City and San Salvador, where President Bukele has gone in and arrested all these criminals, it's safe.
But you're a kid. You don't know El Salvador in the 80s.
Oh, yeah?
Where it was crime-ridden, gangsters. You're right. He's done a great job. And Trump, if he had that power, like he could do a much better job. But you saw what Trump did in Washington, D.C. Crime is down to like 20%. I mean, he just cleaned that place up with his National Guard. Thank God. But again, Washington, D.C.
But it goes back to what you were talking about a couple minutes ago, is that what this city is going to look like 6 months from now, because we know we're having this new mayor. And
again, the mayor can't do whatever he wants to do. He's going to try, but I know after like 2 years, he's going to be haughty and think that he can do whatever he wants. But for the first year, we're going to give him a 100-day honeymoon thing. But the truth
90-day honeymoon.
He's not going to do anything. He's not going to accomplish anything. He's not going to cut the budget. You're not going to see free. You're going to see your taxes rise by 20%.
Well, because we want to pay for city council pay raises.
Right.
I mean, that's a horrible thing.
And people are going to lose their buildings and houses, the mortgages. And anybody who has some cash floating around, hold on to it, because you're going to be able to buy foreclosed properties cheaper.
You know what? And I got a lot of comments here. Heaven44 says Tish is not going to last past the month. Boone for
past the month.
He doesn't think that, or Heaven doesn't think that.
Right, I agree with you.
And I also wanted to throw it out there. Black Beauty wants to say El Salvador just recently was dangerous. Superfly is here, wants to say hello. Heaven44 also wants to say Simcha Felder is getting paid to sleep. I love Boone 408.
They went to Simcha Felder's office.
I saw that.
People called me. Heshy, he doesn't pick up the phone. I said, he called me from Simcha Felder's office. He said, Simcha is not here. They told me to speak to this guy, Lenny Marks, who has a no-show job there.
A career government staffer.
He is being sued for spitting at people. I mean, this guy's retarded completely. I just want you to know, they went to his office and they can't help the people. Cops are going there to help with their problems. Kids that he's supposed to help with kid donations and a kid program for the helmet program. Simcha Feld is not around. So I was talking to a guy who wants to rename one of the streets in Borough Park. And I told him, you just can't rename a street after anybody. You have to see what they did great for us. Yes, they're a Holocaust survivor. They went through a lifetime. But just because of that, you just can't memorialize a street. Plus, what have you done for the block? And I gave him a bunch of pros and cons. And he wants my help. And I said, go to Simcha Felder. I said, he will help you. He says, no, they can't help us rename a street. I said, I know that, but Simcha Felder can do that. I said, but you guys voted for him. You guys put him
I
in
know,
power.
I know.
Why are you coming to me? He says, well, this is going to be the mother of the guy who runs Aguda. I said, but Aguda went against me. For sure I'm not going to help him.
Yeah, no, and I do love Boone 408 because I want to remind everybody about this. Richie Barsimian or Dick Rand Barsimian versus Heshy. Heshy wins in a landslide, and I said Richie's done. He's a loser. Then Boone 408 said he couldn't even win his own primary. Yeah, that's the point.
Well,
And I got a good question from Heaven 44
before
though.
you do Heaven 44.
It's a Mamdani question.
Go
though.
ahead. Oh, good. I don't want to. You mean Dumb Donnie. Go ahead.
What's the plan of action should Dumdani show its true colors towards the Jews? What's the plan of action?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I don't know about those leftist Jews because I'm going to let them burn. I know you're laughing at it, but those are the guys who put him in power. And when they did this during Germany in the Holocaust, when the Jews voted for Hitler because they were scared, so those Jews, and there was a lot of Jews, I'm sorry to say, that moved up in the ranks, that became capos and turned other Jews over to Hitler. Those Jews, God will punish. So I'm not going to protect them.
Right.
But my community, I promise you one thing, I'm ready. My people are getting guns. My people are signing up left and right on Avenue U. It's packed. We are prepared. We are protecting ourselves. Not everybody can have a gun. I'm telling people to keep their weapons ready, like a knife or spray.
Listen, I keep spray. I keep that stuff. You definitely want to have that.
Available. Put out now I have on the front door by me, even though I keep my doors open, two combination locks that lock at night. So if you cut one, because somebody did cut one and they did a few other doors, double. And then when you get to your main door, you put on locks. Got to be protected. Have a camera. Today, a camera is nothing. Nothing. And they're coming in. You know, I have a building now that they shut me down. A Muslim inspector shut me down on a Friday on Shabbos. You know that?
Yes, we were talking about this over the weekend.
Right.
Yep.
They came 10 minutes before Shabbos, Kobe. Shabbos is the Sabbath.
Yep.
There's nobody working.
Yep.
It's a fact. They've been to the building 692 times. No, I know you think I'm making that number up. Go online, you'll see it.
I believe it.
So we don't let them in anymore.
Yeah.
And they came and they gave us a stop work order. I said, we're not working. I said, everything is shut down just to torture us to put a sign up. So I called up the chief. I had a big fight with the chief last week. And finally the chief said, send me in an order. I said, it takes a month till you process. One day to stop us. So I started, and I heard in his voice the Muslim voice. Now, I have a lot of Muslim clients. I help them. I love them. I have kids that are Muslim that call me Uncle Heshy.
We actually have a number of them in Borough Park.
Right. Yeah. So this guy, I said, listen, I know what you did. He says, don't put words in my mouth. I said, not only am I putting words in your mouth, if you don't come down, I'm going to talk about you on the show, which I am, and I'm going to sue you, okay? And I'm going to come to your house. I know Inspector Tekla where you live, and I'm going to take pictures. I know you did something illegal by your house, too. He says, I'll send you an inspector Friday. So me and my son were waiting there at 9 a.m. 3 inspectors showed up.
Oh, God.
Now, they're building inspectors to check for construction jobs which were jarred. They looked over the plans on a finished job. I said, what are you looking to get us? They walked through the building. They put on the water. I said, it's not your job to test water to see if water is running. Your job is to see if the construction is done correctly. They couldn't catch it, and we filmed the whole thing. At the end, they left, and they scraped off the sign. Usually, we have to scrape it off. 2 days later, 3 more inspectors showed up. Today, Inspector Berger, a Jewish guy, came. And I said to him, Inspector, go online. They checked the heat. They checked the lights. Looking through the window, there's lights in the building. I got to come in. I said, Inspector Berger, last time I let you in, you made us spend $20,000 on a good working heating system. You violated us, took us to court. He said, I'm sent here. I said, you're never coming into my building again. Now, he was talking real nice. I said, you could talk nice, Inspector Berger, but I see that your history. He says, well, I'm just a city employee. And for sure, I don't let you in. If people who have to do their job have to do it with a compassion and a heart. That's why a lot of these judges who say they have to follow the guidelines, it's not true. They don't have to follow the guidelines. They don't have to accept the deal made by the prosecutor, even though the deal is made.
And Superfly makes a great point in saying, listen, she saw the same guys walking around and saw that guy got held up. And what's the point of calling the police? And I couldn't agree more. Listen, that's why I tell people all the time that, don't count on the police.
Yeah.
I'm carrying all
They
the
let
time
you
weapons.
go. Even at the protest, when the guy hit me, the police let him go. Now, a lot of my guys here in the neighborhood are good that we help, but I'm just telling you, for example,
And that's gonna
I
get
have
worse.
a Captain Islam at the 62nd Precinct,
Yeah,
a friend.
on Bath
I
Avenue.
love him. He's a great guy, okay? Is he Muslim? I love his wife, delicious. I love the kids. No, but I'm talking to you. These are people who care about the community. They don't care about Jew or Muslim or whatever. That's the objective. A Muslim and Jew and Christian, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Go observe your religion, do whatever you want. But you're pushing it on other people. You're pitching, you're protesting. If you want to protest against Israel, protest, but don't protest because of Palestinian, a Muslim and Jew. And that's what they're doing. And then they say it's not Zionism, but Zionism is not Judaism.
Right.
What do you give a crap?
I know.
Yeah.
Who's mixing in? What are you mixing all
At
this
the end
in?
of the day, we're all Americans. I don't understand.
Yeah.
These people are like, they're going to attack other Americans for something another country does.
Right. Whether it's a
What?
Jew, right? And you can support the Haitian Americans support their people in the home country. The Cuban Americans send money there.
Yep, Puerto
The
Ricans.
Irish send it right. So what are you now against the Jews? And it's always Jew.
Oh,
Jew,
the
Jew,
Irish
Jew.
did a lot worse. The Irish
But it
did
makes no
crazy
difference.
things.
You can do whatever
Yeah.
you want to your home country, send, but in this country, leave us the politics alone. Stop protesting here about something else. Protest here about civil rights. Protest here about the blacks. Protest here about the mistreatment of
And if you want to
cops.
give us a call here one more time, 646-974-1580.
Can I tell you something what's going on in the
646-974-1580.
United Kingdom? Because they're crazy, shooting up, killing people at synagogues. They're actually going to synagogues, making shootings. The police don't care about anything. So now thousands rallied in London to protest again the mandatory digital ID. You have to explain to me what that means, which will be used to track vaccinations status, carbon
footprint?
right, and meat consumption. Can you explain to me what digital ID means? They're going to put a digital machine into you?
You know, you remember the
Like a
movie?
little
Remember
NFC
the movie
card?
Total Recall?
Yeah.
That's what we're coming into now. Total
They
Recall.
can't do that. If I don't let you do with my body anything you want.
Listen, COVID changed
So I'm
everything.
just
See,
telling
I'm
you,
with
man.
you. COVID changed everything. Well, remember Australia? They were actually forcing people that couldn't leave their house. Remember that? They
Right.
wouldn't, during COVID, they could not leave their house.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they'll
They
do.
tried that here too, but
it
we
was the
fought
same
them.
thing in Canada. I mean, they were arresting people.
Canada was the worst with
Now-
COVID.
Oh,
yeah,
They
yeah.
just kept
Now,
going
I
on and
want you to
on.
know something. Now, I know my boy here, Tom, likes Canada, and you, Irish guy, okay, they're our people because they're like you. And
I do not like Canada.
Can I-
Well, I'll tell you what. Justin Trudeau likes Katy Perry.
I do not like
But
Canada.
I want you to go back
You know.
250 years.
Okay, I'm
I
going
want to
back.
explain to you. I know Canada is our friend. How was Canada created? Let me explain to you what Canada
All
was
right.
created. During the Revolution, we had our patriots.
Yeah.
And then we had loyalists.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you a little history, all of you people out there. What's
Yes.
a loyalist? A loyalist was an American, a real American born here that joined the British side. There was a lot of black slaves that joined the loyalists and the blacks and the British side. When they lost the war, they ran to Canada, and that's how Canada started. I think it was 60,000 people that had to immigrate or somehow get to start into Canada. Canada was started with really the American loyalists that were British people.
Right.
So if you want to be kind to the Canadians and they love you and they're a great neighbor, really they were our British enemies. Okay, yes, we like you. I like people in London.
They're
You know
traitors
what?
to the revolution.
They were traitors to the revolution. You don't say that Canada, Britain was our enemy. Yes,
Yeah.
now we made peace with them and we're friendly, but the Canadians were really our enemies. So don't say we like them. We really hate them. Plus, Canadians are not too bright.
Well,
Well,
I will say
Even though
this.
they've won a lot of,
I-
what are those trophies called?
Stanley-
The Stanley Cup.
Stanley-
I
wow,
hate
you know, we
I
win,
hated
quite
Montreal.
a
They
bit,
used
too.
to always beat my Rangers.
They did in the 70s. Yes, good point.
I will say this: Canada, fundamentally, if you're thinking about it, really shouldn't exist.
Right.
It's like I mean, they're pretty much Americans culturally.
You know, the
'cause-
country's only as big as our state.
They are
right?
Americans
Yeah.
culture. They are all Americans.
Yes.
Except Quebec. I would say
So,
Quebec is
I
a
would say
little
this:
different with the
they are
Francophone.
Americans.
Come on, you have New Orleans, which are Americans, but they make believe they're
Yeah.
French.
Yeah.
You know, they talk in a funny accent. The only reason why I like the English, I love their accent. And I love by the way, I had an Irish lady that came into me. She didn't have a thick Irish accent, but you heard it, and it was just so cool. Because I speak to the Irish all the time, but they're not real Irish. You don't have that accent. You know, I'm dying to go to Ireland, but I know it's a lot of anti-Semitism. But I want to walk around the country that just people are speaking that I just don't understand because they're speaking English in a different accent. But I love the English. But truth of the matter is, we've forgiven them. After 250 years, we forgot they've killed thousands of us in the war of 1776.
They have a-
Then another war of 1812. They
Yeah.
came after us, and they burnt our White House.
Yeah, they did. They
you were
did.
saying, go
They
ahead.
did. I will say this: is Canada functionally just does not have the same founding principles. They don't really have a Bill of Rights. their constitution's so paper thin, honestly. I mean, Quebec gets to do whatever it wants and gets to, crap on the English minority. And what I will say is this. The one thing I will never go to Canada after the trucker protest.
Yeah.
My father, a truck driver.
I went to see the rabbi there, but yeah.
My grandfather, a truck driver, log truck driver. My great-grandfather, a log truck driver, a truck driver. And they are the hardest, truck drivers are the hardest working people. I will never badmouth a Teamster or anything like that. No. The hardest, the most disrespected. I mean, you think of all the stereotypes with truckers, and they wonder why young people don't want to. And now all these states are illegally selling CFBs, commercial driver's license, CDLs, CDLs to foreigners who shouldn't even be here,
from Mexico,
that can't even speak
gangsters
English.
Who are able
From
to
India,
smuggle the drugs, also from the Latin American countries. Yeah. Hey,
And by the way, you got a super chat on YouTube. You're welcome. By the way, which means you get $2. And I have to put this comment from Yakov T9 and wants to say, make Canada the 51st state. There has been that talk. I mean, what do you say about that, boy?
I'll be honest with you. We have enough problem with the people that are here. You know what I mean? Even though Trump says we should take them on, you know what? I want to fix the 50 states that we have, and I don't want to. And we have Puerto Rico, and we have the Virgin Islands, which are the Commonwealth.
So Canada, 51st state.
I would say this: everything besides Ontario, we can take everything except Ontario and Quebec. And we can keep all the ones we don't want there.
I tell you one thing. Anybody that burns my White House never gets forgiven. Okay, and those Englishmen were stationed in Canada. Now you're going to tell me, yeah, Heshy, America first attacked Canada in 1812. You know that we went over there, but the truth of the matter is they were bothering us, so we went after them. But they don't belong here. Yeah. The Canadians. Good luck to them. You have your country, you have your minerals, you have enough oil to last them a lifetime. It costs them a little bit more splendid.
But here's the thing. Their oil needs to go into our country to be processed. It's raw and it's in sandbanks. They can't even do anything without us.
And when we go there, they're nasty to us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they're nasty.
They're not even British anymore.
They
have the only difference between them and an American is the fact that they think that they're superior to us.
Right.
And people think that nationalism.
I'm reminded by former WWE champion Bret the Hitman Hart, who famously used to have a character where it was basically Canada versus the USA, and these were the things that Colby said. Who always comes back to wrestling. And also, I got to get to comments here. Heaven 44 says the Jewish communities in New York City, fasten your seatbelt. Tough times are heading to New York City.
I want to say something to you, Heaven 44. The Jews are going to fasten the seatbelts. Now, the Orthodox Jews in the Borough Park, Flatbush, Midwood, and certain very religious neighborhoods
Williamsburg,
like
Willowbrook,
Willowbrook, upstate in Kiryas Joel.
Kew Gardens.
The Bukharis are tough ones, but we're ready. We're ready for them. We're armed in a sense. We're ready to be protected. We have our.
But not Mr. Yeager and not Mr. Sutton. They're not armed.
Right. If they come after Mr. Yeager and Mr. Sutton, I won't protect them. But,
but they would give up.
I know.
They would just give up.
Right. They would vote. But the leftist Jews in Manhattan, they're going to get it. And then they're going to come to us crying because those people who hate the Jews don't care if you're leftist or not. And they're stupid people. Stupid. I know. I've been speaking to a lot of leftist Jews that I've been helping in Manhattan. And first they said, oh, secular Jews, we don't care about the Orthodox Jews. Now they're scared of Mandani. Now they're scared.
Not too little, too late. But speaking of things, I've been dying for the last 2 days to get your opinion on. So what do you think about the Justice Department with the whole thing with Tish James dropping?
How did that happen? I know they used the same
and
trick.
James Comey also.
I know they used the same trick that Trump used, that you appointed the wrong attorney general. But now... But does Congress have to appoint the Attorney General, or does the President have to appoint it?
President does, but they got to go through a confirmation. But, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Why doesn't, what's her name again? Pam Bondi prosecute the case? She's the Attorney General for the whole country. Why do you need a local Attorney General to do it? Plus, that Attorney General was confirmed by his own state.
Some states have different ways.
But how did Attorney General Miss Letitia James prosecute Trump then?
And the JDL is here. Wanted to say, keep up the great work, Heshy.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Colby.
By the way, Colby, one more thing.
Yes.
Do you know who Mr. Mandani appointed? He appointed, I just want you guys to know, you're going to love this, all of you listeners. Mr. Mandani appointed a black nationalist called Lumbumba, I don't know, Bombi Bandeli. He was picked to serve as Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani's Committee on Community Organizing for his transition team. This guy, straight out, supports cop killers. Cop killers. Yeah. Now, you're going to put on somebody on your transition team for community organizing. He's going to be like a deputy mayor, and he supports cop killers.
Yeah. This is not surprising from Namdani. I mean, he laughed at a policeman crying in his car.
Yeah,
so, that's just the lowest of the low.
Are you a communist?
No, thankfully not.
I'm asking you. I know you're laughing, but for some reason
you didn't background check him when we were going to bring him on the show.
I know.
You know,
What's it called again? Vetting.
This is a good thing to bring up. Is that I have been called a crypto Marxist infiltrator before by Nick Fuentes. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yes, we definitely know.
So a notable anti-Semite came after. He doxed me. He called. This is back in Washington. He called all my local committee precinct officers and everything. Said, "Oh, this guy." A leftist infiltrator. It only endeared me to all these people more, and I got the nickname the infiltrator out of it, which is kind of badass.
The reason I ask you this is the Communist Party was created. The CPUSA was created in 1919. Now we never, even though we had the communist hearings, which I think was bad, blacklisting those people. But the Communist Party.
Well, there was a huge arm of it in Manhattan.
But it wasn't outlawed.
Yeah, it was called CU.
The Communist Party was never outlawed in America. I don't think you're allowed to outlaw any party here. But pretty much they destroyed it. Now the Communist Party is dead. Now after 40 years of hiatus, the Communist Party is back and they got 3 people elected. Listen to this. One in Maine, one in upstate New York.
Okay.
And
Ulster County, I could say.
And the other one is in Michigan.
Yeah, this is Jackson Hinkle's organization.
You guys, and there are more people ready to run. And these communists are saying that we should only have one party, that we should control everything. I mean, we actually, which idiots? I can understand the socialist. I can, because he's giving you everything for free. I can understand the socialist because you're into the religion of the Muslims. But I can't understand the communists. The communists tried to kill us. They're our enemy, the Russians. You're bringing the Russians into America. Are you crazy?
You know, it reminds me of that Who song, Won't Get Fooled Again. But people are getting fooled again. That's what it comes down to, you know? People are just getting fooled again.
I just don't know how anybody could see like how efficient our government is, which is not very, and then think, let's have them all run everything for me.
Yeah, people just don't, they don't get it.
Churchill says, it's like we have, capitalism, like a capitalist democracy is not the perfect system, but it's the best one we have,
I disagree with you. I think you guys don't understand. When we created America, we created it with a Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
The Declaration of Independence is really a crappy piece of paper. It's very nice, but it really, it's history that it really didn't do anything. After the Declaration, we created the Bill of Rights.
Yep.
The Bill of Rights is one of the greatest documents ever created.
The greatest.
It is the greatest. So that's what made even though we all live on the Declaration of Independence, but it's the Bill of Rights that made the Declaration, that we are giving rights to the people. That's what it is, right? The Declaration decided on how to go about it. This great country is supposed to let people live, give them the right to do whatever they want, not to push your democratic socialist party. I believe there should be no parties.
You and I had this conversation
no
last week on the
parties.
show.
You want to run for office? Get up there, fill out your signatures. No parties, no money, no raising of money. Get yourself out there.
Politics should not be a career. You go back to that. The Constitution, the Founding Fathers did not interpret this system to be the way it is today, and too many people.
So you're going to say, Heshy, well, if you don't get a salary, nobody's going to run the city, or nobody competent will run the city.
I disagree with that.
Or the rich people who don't need the money will go run the city and then have all their little. That's the way it used to be in Chicago and New York City.
But how's things going for us right now?
Right.
How's
even with the
going?
money, because a lot of these council people, they're dumb. I mean, really.
No, they are.
Most of them are trust fund kids. They've never worked.
Some of them are so stupid they're not even college graduates. Okay, but let's just say that
I'm not a college graduate, so.
Okay, but the point is, but some of them are just dumb. if you actually talk to them, I'm not sure they know how to add. You know what I mean? Forget read a child's book. So now they're in city council. After the 8 years, what are you going to do? You can't get a job. Most of them didn't have jobs beforehand. Some of them lived in the projects, and I'm not knocking it. They fought their way to represent their people. Now they need a job afterwards. So you know what they're doing? They're fixing and they're helping all these big corporations. So when they come out, like Adams, who was the speaker, she's getting a job.
Oh,
And
going-
that girl
Going
doesn't
straight to
deserve-
K Street, you know.
Right. That girl doesn't deserve anything, and she has no more influential power.
And speaking of which, I gotta talk about it. I want to know what you guys think. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Everybody talked about her, and the tables are being turned. And she's resigning, but get this: she's resigning in time to collect her pension.
By 2 days. By 2 days.
I understand. What does that mean? How
So
long
in
is she-
Congress, you serve, was it 4 years? More than 4 years, you get a pension.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your salary. So
Yes.
she's waiting. She's resigning. She doesn't want to resign now, which would be the right thing to do. She's taken.
But why is she resigning at all? Because she had a fight with Trump?
I guess
She can so she people don't believe it because she's like crazy, but she has always been like a
because she supported Trump.
she
I
is
like the way
crazy.
she
She's
supported
crazy.
Trump.
He would know. He was up
a
there.
friend of mine, is friends with her chief of staff, and she's crazy. Like she went to the Nick Fuentes AFPAC, whatever it was that he set up. She, after he specifically told her not to several times, she still ends up going. She voted to keep Kevin McCarthy after it became clear
God, we
everybody
talked about
else
this on
wasn't.
previous
She's always wanted to be into leadership. And she wanted to run for governor, and Trump wouldn't support her.
What was wrong with having Kevin McCarthy as the speaker?
No, we spoke about this. He was the one where the government got. Remember, 2 years ago we were on the show. We talked about him when the Republicans held up. They removed him as leader because he wasn't doing anything. He was basically just
Because he didn't have any. He was up by one person only, right?
like 5 votes.
5 votes.
Yeah.
And he allowed.
But he wasn't doing anything, so they wanted to make some changes, and they
This
held
guy
up.
Johnson is great.
He's better than
Much
McCarthy.
better.
McCarthy was
Yeah.
terrible. McCarthy was a freaking government insider.
But most of these government guys, they're just stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I like Trump's new administration. They're backing him. They're loyal. Wow, because the last administration.
But I just think it's
everybody-
ironic that this person, right, who last year was Trump's the congressional member, to now that she's resigning and that's it.
Because she switched sides. She thought she'd get more power, and instead they laughed.
I think
Yeah.
he said nail in the
Because
head.
she thought the Democrats would welcome her, and the Democrats would
I don't think anyone's
well,
welcoming her.
we're not going to welcome her, but we'll accept her.
She's going to be another Liz Cheney. It's
A
just
lot
ridiculous.
of these politicians, they get elected and they think they're owed something.
Right.
They think, I helped Trump so much, I'm owed something. I'm like, okay, this lady, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I agree with some of the stuff. I think Republicans, if they don't change something soon, they're going to lose the midterms. I agree with that. I agree that
We
we
have
need
a
to move,
special
move,
election
move.
right now in Tennessee that the Republican is only up 2 points in a district that Trump carried by 22 points.
Yeah.
Right now, it could be a tsunami of a blue wave next year. I mean, I said it before on the show. I remember just getting involved in politics in 2006.
I think Trump will bring out the Reds again.
He's not on the ballot, though.
I know he's not on the ballot, but he will. Oh, you're right. So, I mean, the people won't come out.
We're not educating and,
It's election
and
after
energizing
election
our
this
voters
year.
Can I ask
good
you guys
enough.
a question?
Yeah.
What is Mayor Adams going to do after he's out of
I've said it for
Oh.
months. I think
And
Fox
Is he going
News.
to retire? So he's not retiring. He's just
What are you talking about? Ambassador to Turkey, right?
No.
I think he's
That
going
was
to
a
be
good
a.
one.
Ankara,
I
yeah?
think he's going to fill the role. You guys remember when Leo Terrell was on Fox News?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be that token Democrat that's going to sometimes agree with Trump. You're going to see him on Fox. He's going to be on the red eye. You're going to see. I think he's going to be a Fox News pundit.
If he gets a show, I will watch it.
That's I think.
I will
Listen,
say
think about
this.
it.
I will
Cuomo's
say-
on ABC.
Is that
To the
him
national
actually-
move is for him.
What could
Him-
give you advice? Like it's like having De Blasio. You know, De Blasio's a professor. I think some college.
Well, he's got apparently got a young
I thought of
girlfriend
it.
now.
Right, I think it was right. This guy is just a low life piece of garbage. You know what I mean?
You know what I want? I want an Adams Sliwa buddy cop show.
I got the idea. You know what they should do? They should do Adams versus Swila or Swila versus Cuomo celebrity boxing. I would love to see that. I would love to
All
see
I
that.
know is Cuomo has not given up his ambitions. They still
No,
say
he's-
They're talking about him U.S. Senate maybe now.
U.S. Senate, New York 12. I mean, it's laughable.
I
It's
hate
laughable.
this man. I hate Kalman more than Cuomo, but I hate Cuomo.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what my problem with my community is that they're coming to me for help, and I'm telling them, you told me overwhelmingly not to help you. Mr. Sutton and the Syrian community told me that they don't need my help. But the people are coming to me when their people are coming. I said, but your community tells me not to help you. Well, Heshy, we voted for you. I promise you,
Wow.
over the last 2 weeks, I've spoken to about maybe 6,000 or 7,000 people.
Right.
They've all voted for me, besides the people that know. So I should have won. My objective is that I'm trying to explain to you is, you don't want my help, but when you're in trouble, you come to the crazy person. And the same way with the Hasidic, we have a borough park, Y.
On 14th Avenue.
14th Avenue that the parents, like you, Kobe, your parents, everybody gave money to build this building.
Yeah.
We bought it, we built it about 70, 80 years ago. And we made it into a free place. And we are now getting grants and so on from all over. Somehow, Letitia James, with this organization, has found a way to transfer this free organization to them. They're going to build us another one somewhere else, and they're going to give, which they're funding and putting housing on top of our Y and taking away this building, which is located great. I don't know how Letitia did it, so I wasn't going to fight them on this because, they're saying you're a rat, whatever, you give us the trouble. This Abby Stein, who used to be a religious Hasidic Jew, who's now a woman, whatever, would we call them woman or no? Thing.
Well, I do want to say goodbye to our listeners here this week. First of all, WJPR 1640 AM, where Heshy
will be back
going
on
soon.
again next week.
WSNR 620 AM, and of course, WNEW.
I will be
107 FM.
in
Happy
Florida.
Thanksgiving
Everybody,
to you, everyone.
WPJR will be in Florida on the 18th to the 21st in the Eden Rock. Come by, visit me. I'll buy you a drink.
You were going to say something here.
Well, I just want to, I don't want to forget this, but I really appreciate you having me on the show. And also, I just want to say, that I have wanted to be on Just Enough Heshy for over a year. So I would say this. Before I even knew what you did, and I'll speak about this in just a second. When I first met George Sarantopoulos in Washington, D.C. Over a year ago, he showed me your show. He's like, I'm sometimes on this. And afterwards, I was hooked. I had to watch all these clips and everything, and with Breaking the Chains and everything. I mean, you are a real life folk hero.
Oh, wow.
I mean, a real life, and then I find out what you do.
I just want to say, it broke me.
Well, you're a real life folk hero. The what you do for a living. I think that's really admirable. The system is not out for people. People need to realize this. The system in this country, anywhere, it's supposed to be for you. It is not for you. And the same thing with whether it's, making sure that you're armed and you're safe and everything. Do never, ever put your fate in the hands of somebody else, and the government most of all.
Right. And I believe people are saying, well, sometimes people are too filthy rich. You know what? If somebody wants to be filthy rich, as long as they do it the right way and don't hurt anybody else, because you do have a lot of those filthy rich. That's the people Madonna should go after. The people who go out and steal and buy mortgages and hurt people and bankrupt.
He's not going to do that.
What he's going to do is he's going to leave those guys because they're smart, and he's going to go after guys like me that want to be a little richer, that buy a property, that invest in a property, that work their property for 30 years.
I know we're running a few minutes. I got to give a couple plugs because Heaven 44 makes a point that Kobe was talking about earlier, in that right now with the way things are going, I mean, with the Democrats redistricting and the way this could be a bad year next year, there could be very few Republican representatives, and it could
we could have gotten more Republicans in. And so me and
we had several Senate races stolen
in
2024.
I hope to talk to our chairman to push off because I'm going away for 2 weeks. I want you to help me vote me in to be executive chair of that meeting. Because I will, when Kalman Yeager comes, I'm going to film it. And I'm going to call him names. I want to ask you a question, Kobe. Even if
I would pay money, much less vote for that.
Even if Kalman gets up there and speaks to you and pitches that it'll help the Republicans, the man was twice divorced, which is acceptable. He abused both his wives, didn't want to give her a get. That means he kept her chained. That means she couldn't go out with another man. Like, for example, in your religion, if you want a divorce, you can still date somebody else, or a man you can date, and you'll get your divorce sooner or later. Here, you can't even date.
And Bob Trackman, I forgot to say hello to. Thank you. Bob Trackman is here.
I love Bob Trackman. He donated food to my organization.
Yes.
So that's the only reason why I didn't want to go away, because who's going to take over for me with my food program? See, I was telling these people on 39th Street, they have a food program. I says, you allow Simcha Felder to come and pick up a bag of onions, and he takes a picture like he's helping people feed them. I do it every week. I pack those boxes. I donate money. This guy comes once a year, picks up a bag of onions. He can't even lift the onions. You know what I mean? Somebody helps him. Puts it on
I got to give a shout out to Yakov T9 who gave us the super chat. What was to say? Instead of Aguta, Aguna. I mean, Aguna. No, definitely not.
Right.
And
you're going to put a guy on there who not only abused, who cheated on his wife, who slept with his own employee while she was married in the same building where he rented his office.
I'm with you in the sense that the Republican Party, and again, I'm not on this committee, but they should not be giving Wilson Pakula's or permission slips to somebody that votes with the Democrats.
I want to tell you something. I know you're a young boy, and I don't want to tell you anything that how to live your life. You want to go screw around or drink or whatever, go. But if you are a public official, and I'm looking up to you, and you're 26, 27 years old, so you want to do something good for us. So I'm telling you now, if you're going to represent us, that means our young guys are going to look at, wow, look at Kobe. But look at Kobe. He came up, he did something, he's representing us.
Yes.
You're either going to be a nice, clean-cut American, or don't run for office and go do your drugging at home.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good point. That is a great point.
Exactly.
That is a wonderful point.
We're going to look up to you. And whatever you do, we're going to do, and it's wrong. That's why I've always led a life that I've tried to be straight. I tried that. I'm hard to kill.
But that's a good point you make. That why is it that the religious community welcomed Andrew Cuomo? They have welcomed other elected officials previously or former elected officials who have that kind of trouble. But yet, sir, everything you've done for this community, standing up during COVID, fighting for religious freedom, fighting for medical freedom, always going out there and fighting those ticket agents, fighting all the unnecessary things. They seem to push you to the side, but they want the people that don't do nothing. And this is where I want to go into the point of the Republican Party. You say new chairman, new day, but guess what? Don't be surprised if the same old players get the same old things because nothing changes in local politics.
Tom, I want you to be wrong. The problem is, I know you're right, and that's.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. He's gonna show up there and say, we've worked together. I supported Ina. She brought us on the floor of the assembly.
Me and Tom have gone through this for years. You're a newbie. And I just want you to be ready that they're going to screw around with you and you're going to fall for it.
I will say
that's
this.
The problem.
I like being new to New York because, there's so much things that happen here with all of the patronage and everything that would not fly for like a minute anywhere else in the country. When I came here, I was so baffled. Matching funds. The fact that the chairman gets to appoint people onto the BOE and also can sometimes run for office. That ended up happening. So many conflict of interest, so many like potential corruption points. I mean, New York City is still running on rules like from Tammany Hall.
Right.
And that's where Bloomberg tried at least to get rid of that.
A deputy mayor that closed down all of our synagogues, but he opened a brand new one during COVID and only by appointment and for special of his friends. That's not fair. This Menashe Shapiro, I'm so happy they're going to fire this piece of garbage pig. But when you see my clips, it's not from the show.
Now, do you think that's Simcha?
It's on the streets
during the week that I do every single day?
Do you think that Simcha Felder will hire on his staff Menashe Shapiro?
No. Simcha Felder is not a loyal person. He did take on Lenny only because Lenny's his.
He's worked for I Win Chu. He worked for Kalman. He's worked. They need a job. It's a simple token thing.
Right. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching our show.
That was Colby.
Colby, you are great, Colby. I love you. I want to see you in the executive committee. I know there are things for you to do. I know you're going to be running a new campaign. Are you looking for a campaign?
Things are in the work right now. I can't say for certain, but I've been talking to a couple assemblymen and some prospective candidates.
Not Kalman Yeager, please.
No, that district.
After what we said about Yeager, that would be a real benefit.
I already was with you before. Now I'm with you twice over. I'll say this. Kalman Yeager, that is a Republican seat.
Trump won the district. I have been saying it for a long time.
No reason. It's the same thing with that Span Senate district.
Yes,
23rd.
we have a district in Staten Island and Brooklyn.
If I ran, I would ask you to come help me and hire you. The problem is, I don't know how to run that community. Tom knows it. Tom will help me. I know that you would be great.
I would volunteer my time.
Look, the Republican Party in Brooklyn, they have a lot of opportunities.
Kobe, is that I have a technical issue and I need to work it out. And Tom, my good friend and advisor, told me to go to Florida, sit in the sun, drink pina coladas.
And a pina colada.
I will say this about Kelman Yeager too. We are about 3 seats short of getting out of the super minority.
Yeah. Yep.
So why? This guy's got to go. We got to get Bill Colton out.
Yeah,
we got to get all these.
great.
We got to get over this 3-seat hump and then get out of the super minority.
There's a seat in Queens that's open now.
I want you to
Bill
know,
Colton's
if I
seat,
would have got
Calvin
into
Yeager's
city
seat.
council, I would have made so much trouble, showed you all. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
You people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If I show you from inside the Tammany Hall, in a sense, what's going on there, I bet you I could have got another 10, 12 Republicans elected because people will be pissed to see what these Democrats
The Republican
do.
Party does not want to win races. They don't need to because they have what he said control of the Board of Elections. When you take the Board of Elections away from the political process, it forces then the Republican Party to be like they are in Long Island or other places where they're going out and they have to elect people.
And I don't want people to think this is just a New York thing. I have worked in like 5-6 different states: Montana, Michigan, Virginia, Mississippi, Washington State, and there's always problems within the Republican Party, whether it's factionalism or the fact that it's personalities,
Tribal warfare.
the tribal warfare. Or just the fact that nobody wants to fucking work. Freaking work.
Ooh.
Sorry.
We're off the radio.
Off the radio, but you
Okay.
still can't say the F word.
Yeah, so
That's bad.
I try not to. Yeah, nobody. That's how passionate I am about this issue. They don't want to work. In Washington State, one of the
Have
reasons.
we ever said the F word ever?
You know what? My platform, I get the wrestlers on. I'm like, I have the beat button ready. I'm like your producer. I have it
I
ready.
don't think in 7 years. I did think somebody did say it on our show once.
Oh,
or twice.
jeez.
Maybe Nicole said
jeez.
once.
Oh, right.
Nicole did.
Well,
George-
You got her mad one time.
George never dropped the F bomb.
No,
I don't remember George doing that. George was always like.
George never even let me say the word whore.
George wouldn't even let us mention Ina Vernikov. He was
Right,
like,
right.
no, can't do it. No,
Right,
no.
right.
George is so tame now. You know,
I know.
You know, I will
He's
say
like
I
a
am
little
very
teddy
proud of
bear.
him.
He got a tie finally. Maybe that's what's choking his neck. He doesn't know what to do.
I will say this, just for the listeners at home, I really am proud of George. I think, considering like just the work he put in, you know, he's like his personality. I mean, he is, you know, he's a Greek man. He'll never admit this, but he's so calm. On election night, I was so impressed.
Right.
Because we were looking down, we're staring down this
we
lot.
sat here late. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching.
We'll see you
the
next
show.
week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Gobble, gobble. Be
Thanksgiving.
safe on the road. And
Happy
producer, play
Thanksgiving.
that music. And we'll see you next week here in the Just Enough Heshy Show with Heshy, Tom, and Colby.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight.